Alrighty, big thank you to Josh Rogers from The Time. Earlier this morning, we now have Jim Hunter, MASN and Orioles Radio Network superstar, joining the show. What's going on, Jim?
Well, it's been a great camp. That's what's going on. A little cloudy today, but, you know, it's nice.
Me and Rob
it happens.
Me and Rob have been joking all day that we're freezing because I keep complaining, but we really can't.
Well, you're a Floridian, so you would notice that, yes.
Exactly.
I'm a Marylander, and I'm still cold.
I'm from New Jersey, and it's still winter there, so I'm happy to be in this.
Yeah, three MASN employees here. Jim, you've covered this team for a long time. You've seen the way that different coaching staffs have handled spring training. What to you stands out the most about Brandon Hyde's camp?
You know, it's very laid back, but they get their work done. I was talking to Chad Cisco this morning about the catching drills that they go through, and Tim Cousins has the catchers on the field at 7 a.m. because they want to get all their drills out of the way before they might be needed for something else. Now think about that. That means the catchers have to be here 6:30 at least, and they begin their long day, and then, oh, by the way, there's a game coming up. So I like the fact that they're getting their work in, they're getting their work done, and it's very productive. There's very little wasted time here. They get the work done, they get them off the field, and move on to the next thing.
The word I like to use to describe is efficient. I said that to Brandon Hyde a little bit earlier.
Absolutely.
They're very efficient.
You know, and the other thing about this camp that's very unique, I mean, this is my 23rd spring training with the Orioles. And in the other 22, I could have told you within maybe being wrong on one player, 20 of the 25 guys that were going to be on the opening day roster when camp opened. This year I count 9. Think about that. That means there are 16 jobs available. And the young players in this camp know that. And that's why you're seeing so much hustle, because they know, hey, why not me? Yusniel Diaz, so what? He's 22. He might make the team. You just never know.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny you say that because Sara and I were talking about the players that we're pulling for so far this year. You've seen a lot of these guys come up from being drafted. Have you seen any maybe a noted improvement from some of these players to where they're maybe major league ready now?
The one player in this camp that has stood out to me in that regard is Austin Hayes. And I think the main reason for that is he's healthy. A couple of years ago, he was the minor league player of the year. He had 32 home runs combined between A-ball and AA. He made the team in September as a call-up, got his first major league home run out of the way, got his first hit out of the way. Last year, he was slowed early in camp with a bad shoulder, and then he didn't make the team, and there was that disappointment. Well, I was in the big leagues, now I'm going back to Bowie. This is disappointing. And then he had that ankle thing that they really didn't understand what it was, from what I understand. And finally, he went to see a specialist, and they said, okay, we're going to do surgery. He had the surgery done. He rehabbed all winter, and he is 100%. And I think the fact that he doesn't have to think about that he's injured, he legged out a triple the other day, where not only did he get to third base, he got around the bases so quickly there was no throw. That's how well he's running. And he's a guy that, because he has a little bit more experience than some of the other guys, he could break camp being the everyday right fielder or the everyday center fielder. You just don't know.
Yeah, we saw him in left field the other day. I was talking to him after I talked to Brandon Hyde, and I even asked Hyde, and I know we talked about it yesterday. I said, what do you like so much about a guy like Austin Hayes? And he said he's just so fearless at the plate. He's aggressive. And I mean, you just touched on it, Jim. He's healthy, and that's what's so important. The only way to make the team is to be on the field every single day, giving it your all. So I think the outfield's something to look out for. And you brought up Yusniel Diaz, and that's something I want to pick your brain a little bit about, because he's newer to the organization, of course, from the trade last year. You know, he's an international superstar, some could put it. How realistic is it that he makes the team, though? Could he use some extra time in AA or AAA just because he hasn't had that much time, per se, in the minor leagues?
Well, I guess the easy answer for that is you can always use more time. Well, let's not forget, Manny Machado came up and turned 20 in the big leagues. I mean, he was just about to turn 20 when he got called up in 2012. Diaz is 22, so he has experience first in Cuba and then after signing with the Dodgers. He has looked fabulous in this camp. I like his bat speed, I like his athleticism, and I also like his attitude, because he thinks he has a chance to make the team. He's not wondering, do you think they'll give me a shot? He has told the reporters, of course I want to make this team, and I think I have a good chance to do it. Every one of those players in there understands that. There are 6 catchers. Only 2 are going to go north. They all believe they're going to be one of the 2. Because there's competition, but it's friendly competition. But Diaz, to me, if he keeps playing the way he's playing, it's going to be hard not to take him north, because if you're building a base for the future around young players, he's one of the young players you're going to build around. He could be a superstar. I mean, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but from what I've seen down here, his talent is obvious.
You know, we know the Yankees and the Red Sox are unbelievable. The Rays are going to be tough to play against as well. But before coming here, all I heard was rebuild, rebuild, rebuild. I know we're still in that mode, but my expectations have kind of changed with this baseball team. Not so much where they are in the standings, but what I expect to see on the field. Have you experienced that?
Well, I have, because the very first time we met Brandon Hyde in December when he came over, Rock and I did the Hot Stove Show downtown, he doesn't want to use that word, rebuild. And the first day when he had the team meeting, he told them, we're not using that. Our word is going to be, we're going to compete. And when you have all these young players, and again, 19 jobs are open on this team, unless my math is wrong, that means that they all have to believe that they're going to be given an even shot to go about earning a job and earning a spot in the major leagues, which of course is their dream. So I think the competition part of this, players just want opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, if they're going to rebuild, the industry term, rebuild with youth. Okay, the industry can say that, but these players on the field are like, well, that doesn't mean that I'm just going to show up. I'm going to go out there and try. First of all, it's harder to stay in the big leagues than to get here. You know, if you come up and you slump, they'll send you back down for more seasoning, and then somebody else comes up. So they know there's opportunity, and I think the competitiveness that comes from the manager and these coaches are phenomenal.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, they give you good information. They're always in a good mood. They want that to be the mood of the clubhouse and the team, and really to a man, we've seen that. This has been one of the most uplifting camps because everybody's always in a good mood. I mean, from my perspective, to go do a broadcast, that's what you want because everybody's
100%.
willing to talk to you. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? You know, I saw Brandon Klein in there this morning. He went to Virginia. I went to Seton Hall. I reminded him Seton Hall beat Virginia in baseball the other day, so he had to take it. You know, so there's little fun things like that go on. Everybody is loose, and the same goal is they want to be on the 25-man going north to open in New York, and they want to compete to show that they belong in the big leagues.
You think they beat them in basketball?
On a given day, although we're slumping down the stretch in basketball. Sorry you brought that up. Bad loss at Georgetown the other
It
day.
was bad loss. Yeah, it was.
Well, I'm really excited to have the rest of spring training, of course, with you, Jim and Rob. Thank you for the time. On
And
All
Sarah,
Access today,
congratulations on your new gig.
Thank you very much. I'm also excited to cover the team. I've been telling
what
everyone.
are we're calling you field reporter
Yeah,
now, right?
on
Because
field
there's no
reporter for the
sideline
Orioles.
in
There is no
baseball, no
sidelines.
sideline.
Yeah, we're going to be the
and you'll be back on with us on Friday
I
with
will
Ben McDonald
Friday
and I and
Saturday.
you.
Yes,
All
very
right.
excited.